My name's Paul Hethmon. I'm CTO at Amplify Systems. Of course, I know many of you for many years being here, and always good to see new faces as well. And my colleague here.
Adam Beck, CTO at REsides. Been in the industry for about 15 years, and glad to be here.
Yeah. So I'm going to start out here. Green button. Yeah, there it is. So I'm sure many of you have seen this slide before, right? Is it soda, is it pop, or is it Coke? I always find it a great analogy when I talk to people about data dictionary, because that's what data dictionary does. It tells us that, we all should call it soda like I grew up with. So if you don't call it soda, you're wrong, but, but that's kind of, that's what data dictionary and Rob Larson, I keep wanting to use your analogy. I think it's jealousy blinds versus louvered windows or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So
growing up in Ohio, we definitely called it pop. There was no doubt about it. But I've been in Georgia now for over 20 years, and I don't hear anybody call it Coke. Now, there's probably some people in the audience that will want to fight me afterwards, but I don't hear that. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. So that's our little intro there. But what we came to talk about really is MLS consolidation, data consolidation, and basing it on data dictionary. I gave a talk a few years ago in Tucson to our audience here, talking about how we built a system really based on data dictionary. And this kind of is the same way, right? So, when we partnered up with REsides in the last year, we had to migrate data and bring it over to the system. It always happens that way, right, when you change vendors and such. And there's also the data consolidation when MLSs join each other and such. And we decided to do this. We decided that, this is a perfect opportunity to use AI and LLM and really make this really work well. And so our data scientist team at Amplify, and I'll say right now that I'm not an expert on AI, so I'm going to say something wrong, and it's okay. But I asked Eduardo, and I said, give me my bullet points that my audience will understand. So we started out with embeddings, and that's just semantic matching, right? That's things like, oh, look, this source has baths full. Well, that's not data dictionary. It's bathrooms full in data dictionary, right? So we want to match those up and migrate from one to the other on that.
Yeah. So, it's interesting because I've been through two major data conversions before. And the first time, it was all done on a spreadsheet. And, it's all just pages and pages of it, and it literally took weeks, if not months, to get through it all. And there's some people in the audience that experienced that pain with me. But with this process, it was so much faster because the AI actually got through the things that matched up directly, and then allowed us to focus on the items that needed a little bit more attention, and then fine-tune some things as well.
Yeah. So we do the semantic matching, we do the re-ranker. That's just, ranking it by relevance. We think this is more important than this thing. We can use the large language model to assign confidence scores, like, hey, these things we think are 90+% good, so don't look at those. Let's look at the things that we're only 10% confident in, that sort of thing. And then we took it, one step further. My data scientist guy did, and he just decided he was going to build field descriptions for us. So he would look at these fields and just automatically create those for us, and in line with data dictionary again on that. And where this came out, or what Adam and I used during our conversion process, is this little tool here, which we, fondly called data mapping. It's very descriptive and great branding, I guess. But when we built this tool and took the AI output and put it together, the focus that we did was on data dictionary, which we strive to be as compliant as possible to the data dictionary standards. And we want to make sure that we don't overlook mapping a field to the proper term in data dictionary versus keeping an existing field that the customer might have. And some of the things we did to make this easy is everywhere on the screen here with the little blue book icon is a link to the data dictionary wiki.
Yeah, and it's really cool because doing the old kind of spreadsheet route, you had to open up the dictionary, go to that field, search it out, and having it at your fingertips is just awesome. Just click it, look at what's there, and then decide, not only do you match up, but are there some things in there that, hey, maybe you want to add, or something like that. So it's really cool.
Yeah. So, so this is the kind of screen that we're presenting, to Adam and his staff to make those decisions, to get them right, and to align his system as much as possible to the data dictionary standard. But beyond that, we go in there and we're generating statistical information and doing that. So you can see here that we've got the AC field, which was the source field, going to the cooling field, which is our data dictionary field. And not only that, but hey, here's all the lookups for them. I mean, because lookups are always one of the bigger challenges, especially keeping lookups in line with data dictionary itself. So this tool was optimized for that.
Yeah, and it's fantastic because again, you're not having to go to another source to determine, hey, how much is that field actually used? I mean, the water to air is 0.0%, but it's in the list. Why are we keeping that around? I mean, is it worthwhile? So it's awesome to have everything right there.
Yeah, and our team, really likes to, when we create this statistical information, that's not based on a sample. It's based on the entire data set. So you can really look at it and say, I don't even know why water to air exists. We probably should drop that out of our system choices, that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, actually, we're kind of going, Adam and I are kind of going kind of quick here. We were joking last week comparing that we weren't going to be able to fill up 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it looks like we're going to not fill up 20 minutes.
We'll get
here.
you to lunch faster. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about is REsides. We were already pretty much close to the standard, so it wasn't as much of a challenge for us. But I know in Treb, in Toronto, you had a pretty big process there. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, and this is, so PropTex is kind of the new, I guess, entity there in Ontario, which encompasses more than just the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, but it's probably 80% of the province, something like that. They have about 90,000 members right now, approximately. And in the last 2 years, we've done quite a bit of MLS consolidation for them. Actually, we did, 16 or 20 associations across 3 different source MLS systems, which was the genesis for building this tool, where my team actually probably spent as much time building this data mapping tool as we did building on our platform during that time period. But it proved invaluable. And it's one of the things, I would say as a takeaway here, and, is, use the proper tool for the job.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, in this case, we brought in 4.5 million listings across all those different customers. Like I said, with three different source platforms we were doing that data from, all trying to map it into an existing model. And without using the AI and using tooling specific to that purpose, we'd probably still be passing and emailing spreadsheets around.
Yeah. So I think we've got three top things that are the takeaways. So I'll start. Don't use spreadsheets. It's outdated. It's a pain, and there's lots of human error that can happen with that situation. Literally all it takes is for someone to hit enter. They're not paying attention. They move a road down, and everything's misaligned. So find yourself a process that works really well, gives you access to the dictionary and all the data that you already have in place.
Yeah. And, and the second point is, have that process, have that tool focus on data dictionary for you. Mm-hmm. We made our tool, that's its goal, is make us as data dictionary compliant as possible. When we submit for certification, I don't want Josh telling me that you failed because you didn't do this or didn't do that, right? Mm-hmm. And having that, your tooling and your process actually really focus on that as job number one, mm-hmm. just makes that so much smoother, mm-hmm. all through it.
Yeah. All right. I'm forgetting the third.
You can't forget the third, because I forgot the third. Yeah, we did have 3 points. I don't forget. Yeah. I don't remember what the third one was.
We'll just get you to lunch later.
But not a long one here, but we do hope you find it useful and gives you some ideals to think about the next time you do a data conversion. And we all know you will do another data conversion, because I've been in this industry over 25 years, and I don't know how many I've done, but it's been a lot. So thank you very much.
Thank you all.